Hello, welcome to Recover Me. This video is going to be about surviving childhood sexual abuse. After this sentence, I'm going to refer to that as SA or just being a survivor at this point. My journey started, the healing journey for this started in my late 30s. But the abuse actually started when I was 4 years old. So from 4 to 10, I experienced SA. And if you are a survivor, you're going to relate to a lot of this. My life has been one depression challenge after another. To say that lightly, have I had amazing experiences in between? Yes, I have. But the underlying depression that I fought most of my life really stands out. I was very promiscuous as a teenager. Later, a lot of you will relate to that. I had no real care for myself or my body, especially. There was nothing valuable to me about it. I actually lost a lot of my femininity. At one point, I thought I wanted to be a guy, That's really popular today. I was a tomboy for sure. And I'm very fortunate and glad that I grew up when I did, because I really didn't want to be a boy. But yeah, it takes so much from us. And that's what Recover Me is about. It's recovering those parts of ourselves that were stolen or lost, or even that we gave away. So as my journey went on, actually, I want to back up a little bit. So not only are we survivors of that, generally when that's going on, we live in a completely dysfunctional world in our homes. Otherwise, it wouldn't be possible for that to continue or happen. And for many of you, like myself, we weren't believed when we did try to tell somebody. And actually, at one point in my life, I remember being in 3rd grade and getting called into the office. And when I'm 55 years old, so when I'm sure it's probably the same for children today. If you get called into the office, you think you're in trouble. Well, my adopted father, my mother had left and had another relationship with another man, and that's where that abuse, came from. And as we, not with the father, but that's a different story. It was actually his teenage son, who was 10 years older than me. So, and actually, the abuse started before my mother and this man were together. That person used to sneak into my bedroom window. They lived across the street from us. 4 years old, used to sneak into my window. By the way, I'm going to put a trigger warning in here. If you do not know what a trigger is, because there was a time I did not know what a trigger was. If you don't know what a trigger is, please look that up. Basically, what a trigger is it'll come out symptomatically in our body, and we may not have a cognitive connection to it. Maybe no memory, but our subconscious is playing that over. So it can come out as you feeling super sick to your stomach. You could start crying uncontrollably. You could end up having a panic attack, anxiety attack, and it might not even happen right during the video. So please, please, please make sure that you learn about a trigger, that you have a plan in place in case you do get triggered. Breathing exercises are really well. And these are things we're going to go over in our community and that I want to make available through this. That's why I started Recover Me. And if you do not know what a trigger is, please come back to this video a little bit later. And also, I already have started a Facebook page that's private, that we will be able to address things like that and come together as a community to support each other in case those things do happen. But so I don't want to get into a lot of details because I don't want to trigger. It's mainly, I really mainly at this point want to talk about some of the things that I experienced and that I'm sure a lot of you can relate to. So, back to the third grade, I had visitation rights and had told my father what was happening. So they contacted CPS, and CPS came to the school and called me into the office. And of course, so I thought I was in trouble right away. And when they started asking me about it, I thought my mother was going to be in trouble. She was going to go to jail. I was going to be in trouble. So I actually lied about it to the CPS people. And to be honest, I don't regret that, because being taken into the system maybe could have been worse. But the point of it is that, we don't really have the support. Some of us don't have a parent that believes us. I mean, later, sorry to say, I was made fun of by people in my family. Didn't believe it until we found out it had happened to my sisters as well. That's another issue we'll get into later. The guilt and shame I felt for not being able to protect my sisters. Well, I couldn't even protect myself. So all this stuff was really buried. And it took me into my 30s after divorce, severe depression, and I was so fortunate. I was able to go to a in-depth counseling retreat, and I was supposed to be there a week. I was actually there for 2, and it was spiritual. I do believe in God. I believe in the Father of Jesus Christ, whether you do or not. I'm not going to push that on you. I'm not a Bible thumper, but I do hope you have a higher power. And we'll get into that too, because I was never able to, even though I believed, I couldn't trust. I couldn't understand how a loving, all-powerful God could let things like that happen. So that's something else we'll be talking about, my journey to understanding that and trusting. But anyway, so starting with just the being a survivor, of that, there's so many little different roads: betrayal, abandonment, neglect, verbal abuse from, our caretakers. And so it opens up a huge can of worms. But like I said, so I didn't get my first real in-depth peeling of the onion, because that's what it is. And I'm going to tell you a really hard truth, pretty short into it, if you're just starting, or if you're still going through it, and maybe you thought, I dealt with this, I should be done by now, I should be healed. I was so angry when I realized that it's a lifelong journey. The healing is lifelong. However, there is another side to where we can love ourselves, accept ourselves, forgive others, have peace, and then go on to help other people, and find meaning and purpose in everything we've been through. And part of that, for me, is sharing this journey. This is the first I've done publicly in this sort of setting. I've facilitated survivor groups. I've done public speaking. I've done some amazing things, but a little bit more on a more private level. So this is kind of out there for the world, and it's time to reach more people. And I hope that you will, if you do resonate, if you would just like the video, that'll really help to get this to more people as I create the channel and the community that I have planned for us. And support And community is the number one thing you need for healing, is to have like-minded individuals that understand, and people that have been there that can give you a leg up and help you with some tools to keep moving forward. And that's what we're going to do. We're going to create a survivor community. We're going to recover ourselves. So welcome to Recover Me. And I hope you have an amazing day. Thank you.